Yeah, welcome to Mr. Vamos Dissects. Another weekend to enjoy football, to love football, to think about football, to sleep football, to drink football, to do everything about football. I would like to start from the local scene. I'd like to thank everyone that managed to come through to KCCA ground yesterday. As KCCA was taking on Gaddafi, game ended 6-1. I think the best moment of the game yesterday was when the Gaddafi player sat down Peter Magambo, and then was a beautiful goal. Even the KCCA fans in the stade stood up to give the guy a standing ovation because it was a beautiful strike. Big 6-1 winners against Gaddafi was a nice result for KCCA as they're trying to get back on form. Today in the dissection, we are basically going to go Europe. As usual, we're going to start with the Premier League, Italian Serie A, Spanish La Liga, the German Bundesliga, and that's basically what we're going to touch on. We would like to evaluate ourselves from the predictions that we did last week. We had a few hits and a few misses inside there. One of the major misses that we had inside there was Chelsea-Newcastle. Chelsea actually went on to lose miserably against Newcastle last week. We were able to call the Aston Villa versus Spurs 2-1 by correct score. We were able to call a goal score for Man City versus Liverpool. We were able to, my compatriot that I was with last week, Joseph, was able to call the Leipzig loss, which I didn't see. Well, kudos to him on that one. Leipzig continues to be on top of the pack in the German Bundesliga. Man United, Arsenal wins last week were called and they actually came to pass. Let's see what this week has in store for us. Start away with the table leaders Arsenal. They take on Wolves. Wolves will definitely be the underdog in this one today. Wolves does not really have very many players that you look up to see if they are going to change a game. Their main standard players might be Wan Hee-Chang, who is actually playing football, the football of his life. He's actually been rejuvenated this season because he's been called upon to inspire this Wolves side that really doesn't have a lot of inspiration in them. Aside from Wolves, they have Matthias Cunha. He's not a reliable player inside, and yet he's the one supposed to be banging the goals for them. And Arsenal side that is now top of the table, back from Europe, 6-0 winners against Lens that beat them in the first leg. They have a Kai Havertz who has now scored two goals. That's on the bounce. They have an Odegaard that's back into the squad. Saka has not really been picking. They have a Martinelli that's now on fire. He's bringing the game to you. They have a Trossard that comes off the bench and he's going to do wonders on the pitch. When I get into Arsenal and Wolves, this is a very easy fixture to call. For me, that's definitely an Arsenal win against Wolves. I'll give you guys a 2-0 for starters in that one. Newcastle and Man United. This is a fixture that has had a change in tides ever since Man United beat Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final. Newcastle has been disorganizing Man U's ego ever since that final there. Newcastle is coming from Europe, a rather disappointing result because they're in the group of death and they needed points against PSG. Although there was some VAR controversy, but well, they did the same VAR controversy against Arsenal, so it's not something that we're going to revolve about for a very long time. Man United, on the other hand, they are slowly jumping out of Europe. Slowly, I'll probably say slowly because they're going to move out painfully. Another loss in the... no, it wasn't actually a loss. It was a 3-3 draw, and they needed a must win in that game. Most of the dissection for Man U was done yesterday in the video that I did. You guys can check through the video again and see what the problem is at Man United and how they need to solve the midfield crisis so that the whole team can get the cohesion to play. Newcastle, on the other hand, their players are very fatigued. I'm very sure about this because the players that played on the weekend against Chelsea, the same players that side against the PSG side. In regards to fatigue and football, you know how fatigue makes you make mistakes on the pitch and all that. On the brighter side, they welcomed Alexander Isak back into the fold. He actually scored a goal against Chelsea on his return. The rather experienced Lascelles is back captaining his side and is playing the defense. And Anthony Gordon, I don't know if it's this English form that they normally have where they play good football for a run of games and then they sleep. But Anthony Gordon is the man for the goals, is the man for the big occasion recently. So in regards to Newcastle playing a Man United side, this is going to be a hot contest because Man United is trying to maintain its defensive record. For the whole month of November, they didn't concede a goal in the Premier League. So they're trying to maintain that record, and Onana is the man for the clean sheets recently. He has the most clean sheets in the Premier League. And the football they're playing is actually very conservative. For a Newcastle side that is basically looking to attack and get in the goals, I think they'll try to bring the game to Man United. But in regards to prediction, I'll give Man United a 1-0 hard-fought game if they can find a solution to their midfield woes. We get into Chelsea versus Brighton. That will be a game for tomorrow. Chelsea betrayed us last week. I'm not really fancying Chelsea against a Brighton side, that deserving Brighton side that is playing the best football. Is playing rather they have a very peculiar game about, they have a very peculiar thing going about them. They have some nice football that they're playing. João Pedro is back scoring goals. He's scoring goals from the penalty spot. He's scoring goals from open play. Evans Ferguson is back playing football. He's back scoring goals. They have the Ivorian Adingra. He's actually playing a very good season for Brighton this season. None of us thought he was going to play football like that. Chelsea, on the other hand, the only spark that they have is Raheem Sterling. I've been calling Cole Palmer, but there's a thing about him that isn't ticking. I think he didn't have someone that's distributing the ball to him so that he can actually put his football in play. We were looking at him as a De Bruyne for the Chelsea side, but I think his midfield pack is not opening him. You have an Enzo Fernandez that has refused to play the football that he played for Argentina in the World Cup. You have a Caicedo that came late from international break and sat out and gave his number to Ogwachuku. It looks like a Nigerian name, and the boy didn't really sit in the midfield. Captain Reece James is now suspended because he picked for a bokeh offense. He got a red card. Cucurella is still out. The only duel that might be here is maybe Robert Sanchez might want to show his former employers that he still has it inside him. But I don't really think, basing on how I look at this game, I think Brighton is going to bring the game to Chelsea. And aside from all that, apart from Sterling being a midfielder, a winger that is bringing the game to the players, Sterling is not going to carry this Chelsea team on his head. So in regards to my prediction, I see this game going to Brighton. I like to give Brighton this game on a 2-1 because I think they are brimming in confidence because of their European win, and they find a Chelsea side that hasn't gotten their midfield pack ready. It's like the whole Man U saga of the middle, because football is a game that starts from the defense to the midfield to the strike. So let's just wait and see how that one goes, but I still emphasize I'm giving that one to Brighton. Man City is playing Tottenham. When you're to check the statistics properly, in the last 5 encounters, Spurs has beaten Man City in 3 of those encounters. What does that mean? That basically means that Pep should not take this game lightly. Man City has been playing very beautiful football in the Premier League for the past few seasons, and they've actually beaten everyone in the Premier League over the years. This Spurs side began the season on a high, but then injuries and bokeh offenses and all that have brought them. They've actually shown Ange that the Premier League is not what it really looked like at the very beginning. The only spark that they have right now is Heung-min Son, and I might maybe look into Giovanni Lecce also, because he got his first start for Spurs in like 3 seasons last week, and he actually scored a good goal inside there. Man City, on the other hand, I think it's scary moments for anyone that's playing Man City. Man City is back from a European victory where it wasn't a solid display from them. They had very many mistakes that they made during the week. You saw their defense was caught napping on 2 occasions where Openda managed to score them, but they managed to pick a result from there. They managed to come from 2 goals down to beat a Leipzig side that really wanted to give them a run for their money. I told you guys on here that when Erling Haaland begins scoring again, we are finished. And now we can really see what's really going on now. Haaland is putting in the goals. Alvarez is trying to do what De Bruyne usually does in the team. Jeremy Doku, business as usual. Rodri, center of the park, doing all the work inside there. I think this midfield battle will all come down to whether Bissouma and Papa Sarr will manage to pick on Rodri, and I don't know who Guardiola will pick to partner him in the middle there. But in regards to prediction, I see Man City taking this away. 2-1 Man City in that one. Liverpool is taking on Fulham tomorrow. That's for Liverpool, it has been business as usual this season. They've been attacking all the games that they're playing as finals. During the week, they were able to run riot on Thursday, 4-0 winners inside there. A player that I'd really fancy going into games these days is Luis Diaz. The turn of events that took place in his life when his parents were kidnapped. That has been like a very pivotal moment from him, back from an injury, and then that happens to him. That thing he hasn't lowered his guard. He's actually been putting in the work. He's scoring goals for Colombia, he's scoring goals for Liverpool. So that's a player that you guys need to watch out for. Mo Salah, on the other hand, I think he's breaking a record every week. I've even lost count on the records that he has, because it's been record in, record out, record in, record out. So I don't really fancy this Fulham side to get anything out of the game against Liverpool, because Fulham actually bought very many players in this transfer window. They bought Annie Obi inside there. They bought Raul Jimenez inside there. Andres Pereira deal was sealed inside there. So I think their coach was looking at getting a chemistry of players, getting in new players to come and make Fulham spark. But the thing that he has tried to do has still refused. They face a Liverpool side that has become solid in the back. Van Dijk is now playing the football that he was playing in Celtic and then later Southampton. He's been a solid person inside there. When you get him with a Matip inside there, it has been a defensive solid line. It has been a very solid backline inside there with Alisson, of course, one of the best keepers in this modern day and era in the Premier League and Europe. When I'm giving you a prediction for Liverpool and Fulham, I don't see Liverpool taking this one. I don't see Fulham picking anything inside there. I'm going to go for a Liverpool 3-1 win. When we move outside the Premier League, I want to give you the main games that you guys need to look out for. The Bayern game has been postponed. I'm yet to find out the reasons for that. So we'll not be seeing the Englishman Harry Kane doing his trade for Bayern today. So the main game that you guys need to catch up on tomorrow is Leverkusen is taking on Dortmund. Leverkusen is the hottest side in Europe right now. Leverkusen, surely they won their game. They surely won their game in the Europa League the other day. We have a Victor Boniface inside there that is actually, for a Nigerian, you wouldn't fancy him to be doing all the things that he's doing, but he's scoring the goals. They have a Jeremy Frimpong. I think he's probably the fastest player that they have in the German Bundesliga at the moment. A Patrick Schick, this is a player that we began seeing in the World Cup that got an injury and he's back banging form. Dortmund, on the other hand, is not a team that will underestimate as well. They've not really been having very many solid displays, but I think the midfield pivot of Emre Can and Sabitzer is actually doing some wonders for them. They were able to beat an AC Milan side that has been rejuvenated this season. They have the likes of Chukwueze and everyone is there. They were able to be 3-1 winners against them. And they have a Daniel Malin that is actually coming off the bench and doing wonders. They have the new German striker that they bought. I think it's called Full Kids, something like. His name is quite hard to pronounce. He's been putting in the goals inside there. So Leverkusen versus Dortmund, it's going to be a hotly contested game. It's going to be going either side. They're going to take themselves either side. But I'll give this game to Leverkusen 3-1 because Xavi football is the football that it's actually one of the best pieces of football to watch if you want to watch a football game. When I take you to the Italian Serie A, the hottest game that we'll have this weekend is Inter Milan taking on Napoli. Inter Milan is coming off the back of a 3-3 draw against Benfica. And interesting to note is that Inter Milan was losing 3-0 at halftime and they managed to turn the game on its head. They actually almost picked in a winner inside there. They have an old man, Sanchez, that is back. I think he's mainly playing the European games. But when you get Lautaro Martinez inside there, you get a Di Marco who is running the wing like he still has a lot of life inside him. When you get basically the Inter Milan team is a team that's going to give everyone a run for their money in Italy. You guys should keep your hands locked on that. Napoli, on the other hand, has failed to play the football that they were playing last season. They failed to unlock Kvaratskhelia. Osimhen is in and out of the team. The other players that are supposed to open them up, the Politanos, they're not really doing things inside there. They've had to rely on Raspadori recently to get the goals taking in. But I think when I'm getting into this fixture, I'm going to give this win to Inter Milan because I think they really have what it takes to win games in here. So those will be the main games that you guys need to keep your fingers on. But if I'm to get you results for these other games, I think some of you want to check and see which games would I probably be looking into, which games am I probably going to put my stakes on and things like that. I come into a Brentford and Luton, these are teams that have different misfortunes here and there. Luton picked their first win last week, and then Brentford, I think they played some interesting football against Arsenal, although they didn't pick a result. So Brentford versus Luton, I think Brentford is also conservative a bit, but let me give Brentford a win inside here. To be a narrow 2-1 win. Burnley, Sheffield, I don't know when Burnley is going to win a game. Because last week they were winning against West Ham, and then West Ham turned the game around and won 2-1 in the 10 minutes. Burnley is playing a Sheffield side that hardly wins games. But I'm backing Sheffield again to upset Burnley, because I think Kompany and all the kids that he's using will not manage the speed of the Premier League. And then Sheffield has a Cameroon archer inside there that is scoring. Wildies, they have a McBurney that still has an eye for goal. So I'm giving a Sheffield win inside there. 2-0 Sheffield. Everton, Nottingham Forest. This will be a game of the bus versus a rejuvenated Nottingham Forest side. So Everton's off the 10-point deduction. They really need to make things stick. Calvert-Lewin got injured during the week, so I don't really see if there's a spark in that Everton team recently. Anthony Elanga on the other side, I think he's picking his form now. He's now playing football on a daily, and he knows that he wants to play football. So Nottingham Forest versus Everton, I'm going to give a Nottingham Forest 2-1 win. When we go away from there, in Spain, when we probably go to Spain, Real Madrid is playing a Granada. Jude Bellingham that is back playing football, that's an automatic win. I don't want you guys to even think about it. AC Milan from Zinone, that's a narrow AC Milan win inside there for you. In the German Bundesliga, Leipzig is playing one of the new teams that has come on. I can't pronounce the name. This time I'm going to go with the Leipzig win because I think they really need to begin picking the points. Stuttgart Bremen, I like Stuttgart as a team. Stuttgart is a team that has been playing football this season. They have an Undav inside there. They have a Griese inside there. So that's a Stuttgart win for you. Going back to the Premier League, Bournemouth, Aston Villa. Aston Villa is one of those nice football sides in the Premier League recently. But they're playing a Bournemouth side that has actually been picking points recently. But in regards to Aston Villa and what Unai Emery is cooking inside there, I'm going to give Aston Villa 3-1 win. West Ham Crystal Palace, that is going to be a low-scoring game with a Crystal Palace that doesn't want to pick points. I'm going to give a West Ham narrow win 1-0. I don't know, I think, and then like we said, we have an El Clasico. We have Barcelona playing Atletico Madrid. I think let's wrap up with this one because this is going to be an interesting game to catch. Barcelona is a team under Xavi that he's trying to build a chemistry between the young players. I think you've seen him bring in the Fermin Lopez inside there, Alamal, and very many young players inside there. Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, a Diego Simeone that is being business. He puts on his black shirt, his black suit, his black pants, and he knows that it's business as usual. Griezmann is pulling the strings for Atletico Madrid. Barcelona does not really have someone that is pulling strings recently. But I think if Barcelona can get Gundogan to play in the middle there, and they probably see how to open him up and feed a Lewandowski that will score goals for you inside there, we'll probably have a fixture for us to watch. But this is going to be a very conservative game because it will be a bus playing against young people. But I'll give Atletico Madrid a win in this one because I think Atletico Madrid knows what it means to pick the big results in these games. Other than that, I'd like to thank you guys for continuously subscribing to the channel, for watching the videos. We've had a lot of engagements. Last week, like I said, we got an email from YouTube about the subscriptions that were coming through. We'd like to thank you guys for subscribing, for liking, for watching the videos. We're really encouraged by the support that you're giving us. I'd like to give a major shout out to of course, where we are right now, we're powered by Luminam Investments. This is Luminam Airbnb. As you can see, it's a fancy place to be at. You can really have everything that you want in this Airbnb. The accommodation is explicit. Everything is nice here. You guys should actually check out their services. From us here at Mr. Vamos Dissect, it's been business as usual. Go and catch the football, enjoy football, watch football, venture in any other sport that you'd want, but football will probably be that pill that keeps your life going. Vamos, let's go again.